Hello, fantasy players. It is week 10. I am very excited for the awesome slate of games. We've got Bipocalypse going on. Everybody's on bye. That always makes for a fun time trying to find your fill-ins and all that. I got a brand new camera. Hello. And it actually has a mic attached to it. So I am hoping that the sound quality is good and that the video quality is good. You guys let me know if it's not great. I'm going to kind of adjust as I go and try and have a good setup that, sounds good, looks good, all that. So thanks, Justin. Justin just chimed in on the chat and said it sounds good. So that's awesome. Shout out to Justin. He's an awesome guy. He's my newest partner in the Engage 8 fantasy realm. So appreciate you, Justin. All right, I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to start with some. I look like I just woke up. Yeah, you see, it's a style, Justin. Okay, the just woke up look is in. So, joke's on you. This right here, ladies love it. All right, let's jump right into the injury news here. The biggest thing that actually just popped up today, Matthew Stafford is likely out for 1 to 3 weeks. He's got some broken bones in his back yet again. Matt's not going to play. It came out a little earlier. It was his availability was in jeopardy, and then it was questionable. And today, I just got the alert a couple hours ago that the team doctors are not going to let him go. He's got a couple broken bones, so he's going to be up for a few weeks with yet another back injury. So if you had Matt Stafford in your lineup, you're definitely going to want to put somebody else in there. I didn't really like Matt Stafford this week anyways against the Bears. The Bears have let up 3 passing touchdowns all year long. So I didn't really like his chances there. So hopefully you weren't starting Matt Stafford, and now you definitely can't start Matt Stafford because he's hurt. He's out. Another big injury is George Kittle is doubtful. The tough part about that is he didn't practice all week, and he's got the late game, so you're kind of stuck. I would definitely grab somebody else. He's trending in a bad direction. He's listed as doubtful. I don't think he's going to play. I have him in my main league for ESPN, and I actually picked up Eric Ebron off of waivers because I liked his matchup against Miami. And even though it's Brian Hoyer who's going to be throwing the ball for them, I still like Eric Ebron. I think he's got some pretty good touchdown upside. And that's really what you're trying to do when you're streaming at tight end. If you have someone like Kittle who's injured and he's out, and you're trying to like pick somebody up to kind of fill in, you're really just looking for a tight end that's going to get you a touchdown, hopefully. And that's what I think Ebron could do. I think he's got a great shot at that. So I'm happy with that. Jacoby Brissett is out. Obviously, that was announced a while ago, but just in case you didn't hear, Brian Hoyer, I think, is a great start, a great stream this week because the Miami defense is terrible. Very easy to pick on the Miami defense. So, yeah, go ahead and pick on them. Start your Brian Hoyer for sure. Patrick Mahomes is not going to be limited at all, so that's good. He took some rest time and got that knee healed up, hopefully. I don't know if you guys saw, but last week, Williams, the running back, Damian Williams had a 91-yard touchdown, I believe it was. I'm pretty sure it was 91, 92, somewhere in that range. And after they won that game, Mahomes was, sprinting out onto the field, and he was all excited and jumping up and down and looked really good. So he shouldn't be too limited. I don't expect him to run outside the pocket as much as he normally does. That's one of the best parts about his game is that when things look a little rough and the pressure is coming, much like Russell Wilson, he's one of those guys who can run out of the pocket and create time with his legs and then find Tyreek Hill for an 80-yard bomb or Watkins or Kelsey or whoever. So He's someone who's really good at scrambling and making that extra time. I think that's going to be a little bit limited because I think he's going to really try and be more of a pocket passer and try and take it easy on his knee for the first week back. So I think that kind of caps him a little bit. So I like him as like QB4, QB5 on the week, where normally, he's pretty much the QB1 every week, especially with the upside that he has on that offense. So, but you're definitely starting him, obviously, and you're glad to have him back if he's been on your team. Javonte Adams is a full go. He's ready for Sunday. Amari Cooper is questionable, but they say he should play. So I guess monitor that situation. Sounds like he's going to play, though. Matt Ryan is good to go. He's going to start back from his injury, so that's great news for those who have Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, or Matt Ryan, Austin Hooper. All those guys obviously get tremendously better and increase in value when you have Matt Ryan throwing the ball and not Shabby Poo. So that's my nickname for him. You're welcome. Lamar Jackson was back at practice, which was good. He was suffering from an illness, I guess. There's been a lot of that going around. Seems like he's going to play, though, and he's going to absolutely destroy this Bengals defense that is just a joke. He annihilated them in week 6 in their matchup, and he didn't even have Hollywood Brown. He's going to have Hollywood Brown for this matchup. So I think Lamar Jackson is going to go off against a terrible defense. So great start there. Adam Thielen's not trending in a very good direction. He didn't practice, so I don't think he's gonna play. Looks like Alvin Kamara should be a full go. So other than that, I don't think there's a whole lot. Let's see. Evan Ingram's not gonna play. AJ Green, there was a lot of up and down with AJ Green of is he gonna play? Is he not gonna play? What's going on with AJ Green? He's not gonna play. And there's a good chance that he won't even play the rest of this season. It's been really, really weird. Thanks, Brian. Brian checked into the chat and said I'm really handsome. So, oh, shucks, I'm blushing. Thanks for that. Shout out, Brian. Check out his website, thefantasycheatcode.com. It's awesome. Lots of articles. I just wrote my first article last week, a start sit article or a waiver wire article. My bad. I'll be doing another waiver wire article for this week and probably another article as well. Working 2 jobs, it's hard to find time for fantasy stuff, but I love it. So I'm going to keep carving out the time as much as I can to do these live streams and write some articles and all that. So dipping back into the injury news. Like I said, AJ Green's not going to play. Ingram is out. Connor is unlikely to play. James Conner. So Jalen Samuels, great start. Why not? He's done well when Connor has sat. So I think one other note that I see here, Le'Veon Bell, he was up in question. He got an MRI and whatnot. It seems like he's good to go. He announced on social media that he's A-okay. We all know how that goes, though. There's lots of players who will go on social media and be like, I'm fine. Like Ross from Friends, I'm fine. And they're not. So, but it sounds like, according to him and the team, that he's going to suit up and play. And theoretically, it's a good matchup. As bad as the Jets are, Bell just gets so much work. And when you have a running back that has the guaranteed workload that he does, you got to start him. Even in the bad matchups, but this matchup's not bad. So, all right, I think that pretty much covers the injury news that I see here last minute. Hopefully you guys aren't too spurned. I was a little upset about the Kittle. I knew that he hurt his knee in the game. I watched the game last week, but I figured, he's got plenty of time. He'll, recover and be right back to tip-top shape. I mean, he hurt his knee in the game and still played the rest of the game and was effective. But I mean, oftentimes when you have an injury, when the adrenaline's pumping and you're moving around, it's okay. But it's when you kind of slow down at the end of the game and the adrenaline's not going and stuff starts to swell up and hurt a little bit more. So hopefully he'll be good. But like I said, I picked up Ebron as some insurance, and I suggest you do the same. Pick somebody up as insurance. But again, with it being the late game, I would just sit him honestly because it doesn't really seem like he's going to go, and if he does go, it sounds like they're going to limit him. So it's something I want to stay away from. I don't want to be stuck, hoping that he starts, and then I leave him in my lineup and I get a big fat zero in my tight end slot. That's no good. I'd rather start someone that at least has a chance at getting more than zero. So let's move on to the weather report. I had to come up with like a fun little, I don't know, I need like a green screen behind me like the weathermen do so I can and over here you have the tornado coming in or whatever. I don't know. I'll figure that out. Not really much of note as far as weather goes. There's some cloudy games, but I don't think that really affects anything. Really the only game that I'm seeing of note is the Packers and Panthers. The frozen tundra is in full effect over there at Lambeau Field. It says right now that we have a 35-degree kickoff, so obviously that's pretty darn cold. Really, that only hurts Kyle Allen, in my opinion, and some of the receiving options, because when it's colder, the ball gets kind of hard and stiff. It's more difficult to catch. So I could definitely see it affecting the receivers for the Panthers. But I don't really see it affecting Green Bay as much because it's their home field. They're used to playing in the cold. Aaron Rodgers loves the cold. He doesn't have a problem with it at all. He's very used to it. Time and time again, he's played great games in frigid temperatures, and this isn't even as bad as they thought it was going to be. Christian McCaffrey is going to smash just like he has been doing all year. So obviously no concern there. All I would say is that if you think you might have a better option than Kyle Allen, Curtis Samuel, DJ Moore, maybe try and see if you can do it. I see Kyle Allen as a QB2. So in 2 quarterback leagues, you can still roll him out there. But in 1 quarterback leagues, I'm definitely looking to try and start somebody else. There's some pretty good streamers out there. 6 teams on bye, so pretty rough there. And I see David Moore. DJ. I see DJ Moore as probably a wide receiver 2, middling wide receiver 2, and Curtis Samuel, wide receiver 3, flex play. But again, with the cold weather, I would really like to try and find some better people to plug in there if I can. So keep an eye on that. But other than that, again, it's cloudy, and every other game is like in the 50s, 60s, 70s. So fairly warm weather, good weather. I don't see any rain or snow. Or high winds to really be concerned about in these games, which is nice because sometimes the weather really throws a wrench at you at the end of the week when you have a game like the Niners and Redskins played, where it was like a monsoon and everybody was playing slip and slide everywhere. Very entertaining to watch, though, for sure. So that kind of wraps it up for the injury news and for the weather. And I'll kick it over to you guys now watching and see if you guys have any questions about your lineups, any start sits that you'd like help with, any other questions, like how do I get my hair to look so good? Any kind of question that you may have, I'm here for you. I'm here to support you and answer any questions that you may have. I got my rankings here in front of me because even though I am, basically a genius, I can't remember everything. That's a joke. I'm really not a genius. So I have to I have like a PDF sheet actually, and I do my rankings on that because otherwise I wouldn't be able to remember everything. I mean, you retain some stuff off the top of your head, but eventually once you start getting into 30 plus 40, 50 at each position, you got to start writing stuff down. All right. Okay, so the first question is Alex Erickson, Juju Smith-Schuster, or Robbie Anderson? That is a good question. Now, oftentimes when I have these questions, I talk about, your team's situation. Who else do you have on your team? Who are you playing against, etc. I think Robbie Anderson is a good upside play, but the floor is so low. Robbie Anderson was supposed to have a smash matchup last week, and he didn't do anything with it. And that's what's really frustrating when you have a guy who's talented like Robbie Anderson, who started the year with really, really tough matchups going against number one cornerbacks in the league. And a lot of people were saying, hey, if you can just hold tight or if you can buy low on him, he's got a great end of the season coming and he's going to be really nice to plug in. And it just hasn't happened. So I just don't trust Robbie Anderson. I guess if you really, really feel like, man, I need this win and I need Robbie Anderson to go off for 25, 30 points, it's in the realm of possibilities. I just think the percentages are like 5 to 10% maybe. They're super low. I don't trust them at all. Juju is definitely my favorite out of the three because even though it's been a tough year for Juju, coming off a great season last season, and then of course AB leaving, Lev Bell was no longer there. It really seemed like a smash spot for him to just jump right in and dominate. But then of course Ben Roethlisberger got hurt, Mason Rudolph was hurt for a couple of games, and it's really been tough for Juju. But I still like Juju. He's put up respectable numbers, and he's still a very talented wide receiver. So out of all three of those, I still like Juju the best. I don't really trust the offenses for the Bengals, and I know it's a tough matchup if you look at the Rams and what they've done. Obviously, adding Jalen Ramsey, but I still like Juju because at the end of the day, I'm going to take talent and volume over anything else. So Juju's not a smash spot for sure, but out of those three names, I got to lean Juju for sure. Next question here, we have Jonnu Smith or Mike Gesicki full PPR. I'm going to go with Mike Gesicki. Hold on. It's spelled Gesicki. I just had to point that out. Yeah, I'm going with Mike Gesicki for sure. Jonnu Smith has been up and down, and the Tennessee Titans have been up and down, and Mike Gesicki has actually done really, really well. And as long as Ryan Fitzpatrick is the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, Mike Gesicki and Devontae Parker are definitely good options. I think Gesicki is going to finish top 12 this week, and I see a path. I think there's like a 50 to 60% chance he's top 8 because his target share has been really good. I think you could pencil him in for 8 targets, and you just can't do that for Jonnu Smith. So yeah, I mean, definitely Gesicki for me. Standard or full PPR. I like it a lot better than full PPR, obviously, because it's a lot easier to chase those targets, point per catch. So definitely Mike Gesicki there. And then we have Matt Ryan or Dak Prescott. That is a really good one. Let me actually consult my rankings here because I am curious myself to see where I have these guys. If I look here, and I'll go to, sorry, I had all my flexes pulled up. I got to try and see if I can find my quarterbacks. Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 minute. Going over here. So I have Dak Prescott at QB7, and I have Matt Ryan at QB10. So yeah, I guess my answer would be Dak Prescott. He also has been up and down a little bit, for sure. So it's been a little rough to rely on him. I had him in my main ESPN league, and he posted a dud, and I did the sensible thing and cut him, grabbed somebody else, and now I've had the fun of streaming Gardner Minshew the past few weeks, and then obviously had to cut him, and I streamed Phillip Rivers this week, and that didn't work out. But yeah, I have they're close because once you get outside the top 5 for me, those guys are really close. So I have like Rodgers, Prescott, Wilson, Rivers, and Ryan. And obviously, my Philip Rivers ranking was before the Thursday night game. So that didn't pan out super well for me. But I just think that Dak's got a better shot here, and he's been a little bit more consistent. And with Matt Ryan coming back from the injury, you don't know how healthy it is. They say he's a full go, which is great. And he's not someone who rushes anyways. But, I'd like to see him play through that injury a little bit, I guess. And for me, when you come back from an ankle sprain like that as a quarterback, you still got to plant on that foot or push off on that foot. His is his plant foot. I'm pretty sure that he injured. So every time he's dropping back and then he plants to throw that ball, if he feels that kind of tweak in the ankle, that can make things kind of rough for him. So I guess that's the biggest reason why it notches him down a little bit. And obviously, the New Orleans Saints have been a really solid defense. I think they're kind of underrated. I think a lot of people see them as maybe middle of the road, but I think they're one of the better defenses in the NFL. So between coming back from injury and a tough matchup, for me, that kind of bumps Ryan down a little bit. Of course, I still have him as a top 10, as my QB 10. So still a good start, but I would go with Dak over there. Let's see. Brian Wentworth or Josh Buttrick, half PPR. See, that's really, really tough. See, what I would do is I would make a DFS lineup, and I would start both Brian Wentworth and Josh Buttrick because the two of those guys, great connection. So, I mean, stack of the week for sure, DFS is Brian Wentworth and Josh Buttrick. So I'm joking, obviously. Yeah, so unless you guys have any other questions for me, any other guys that you're wondering about, start sits, or Justin says a lot of potential with that stack. Yeah, I agree. For sure. It's the stack to be had amongst all stacks. But yeah, I mean, by Apocalypse, there's a lot of issues on a lot of teams. Lots of people trying to find guys to fill in spots. And then obviously when you have injuries to some of the big guys, that also makes things tougher. So hopefully you guys can figure out and find who you need to fill in for your guys that are on bye and your guys that are injured. All right, let's see here. We got a couple more questions coming in. Kalen Ballage or Kareem Hunt? That is a good one. See, I really don't like Kalen Ballage. I think he's really bad at football. So if we were talking like I'm building an NFL football team and you asked me Kareem Hunt or Kalen Ballage, it would be Kareem Hunt, hands down, no questions asked. But as far as fantasy, I think I do have to lean the Kalen Ballage way just because I haven't seen it from Kareem Hunt. And at the very least, I've seen Kalen Ballage on the field. I've seen him get some workload. And now with Walton dealing with his suspension, he's going to get some of the workload. And I know Freddie Kitchens came out and said that Kareem Hunt is going to be involved. But what does that mean? When you say like a player is going to be involved, that could mean 1 snap, that could mean 15 snaps, that could mean 10 targets, it could mean 0 targets. You don't really know what it means when they say involved. That could mean literally anything. So until I see Kareem Hunt and see the usage, I'm really not going to bank on it. I'm not going to bet on that, especially because this offensive line for the Browns is terrible. They really haven't been doing well. Nick Chubb's been doing well, and I definitely think Kareem Hunt is going to kind of hurt him a little bit. But he's been doing so well with what he's been given that I would obviously prefer Chubb and just kind of do a wait and see with Kareem Hunt. So I lean the Ballage way. Scrolling down here, we've got a question. What am I doing with Darrell Henderson? I think, honestly, I think I'm dropping him. I think he's an okay guy to have on your bench as far as handcuffs go, but there's better handcuffs out there. I think Tony Pollard's a better handcuff. I think Alexander Madison's a better handcuff. Alexander Madison is the best handcuff in the game for me because he has some standalone value if it was like an emergency, you really needed to start someone. And, he's still going to post like 5, 8, maybe 10 points. But obviously if Dalvin Cook goes down, I mean, he just is an automatic RB1. Same with Tony Pollard. I think Rashad Penny is a great handcuff with a little bit of standalone value. So, I mean, I think what's going on in LA is that even Todd Gurley, who's supposed to be the stud, isn't having the best of years. And it's really muddy behind Todd Gurley because Malcolm Brown is still there. They still like Malcolm Brown. They still have shown week in and week out that they value Malcolm Brown. And Darrell Henderson is really the RB3 on that team. If you look at snaps, I mean, it's really just been injury that's kept Brown back a little bit. And Gurley as well. The Rams overall just aren't the offense that they've been for so long. They're just not the same anymore. And I'm staying away from that backfield. The only thing I would say is if you have a spot, so you have a really good record and you have a spot on your bench to hang on to someone like Henderson who could potentially have a good role, sure. And if you're the Gurley owner, it's a little bit more interesting to hang on to Henderson as some insurance, but I'm not really big on it because I honestly, in order for him to become an RB1, I think it's going to take 2 injuries. I think Malcolm Brown and Gurley have to go down in order for him to be RB1. And even if Gurley goes down and, Malcolm Brown is still healthy, maybe he sneaks into flex, maybe low-end RB2, which obviously has value on a team, but I think it's going to be really hard to track, and it's kind of a 3-headed monster that I'm staying away from on a team that is not the same that it's been. So it's a drop for me mostly, but again, hold if you have the space, but especially if you have Gurley, I can understand that. Let's see here. Okay, so Justin says he's dropping him or trying to trade him to the Gurley owner if I don't have Gurley. Yeah, you can try and trade him. Trades can be tough. The couple of leagues that I'm in, trades pretty much suck. So, yeah, sometimes you're in a league where it's really tough to trade with people, and I totally understand that. But if you can get something for him, sure. I mean, you could say that about any player. Obviously, you would rather trade a guy and get somebody else that's on someone else's roster rather than drop them and just grab someone off of waivers. But I think it might be a little difficult. Maybe you'll get something from the Gurley owner because they'll want that insurance. But you just got to put that feeler out there and see. So good luck, though. I don't think if I had Henderson, I don't think I'd get much for him. So. It is a good point, though. It's always good to try and get something out of someone. I think more often than not, like with Henderson, I would just drop him and grab someone without even considering trying to trade him. But it's not a bad move to at least give it a shot. You never know. You can always reach out to the Gurley owner and put your fishing line out there, I guess, and see if anything bites. So, all right, guys. Well, unless we have any more questions about lineups or anything else pertaining to fantasy or not, doesn't really matter. I'm open to all questions, really. But yeah, unless you guys are all out of questions, then I'll go ahead and end this stream. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to continue to keep streaming. I'll be going live every Sunday at 11 a.m. for same thing. I'll go over injuries. I'll go over the weather. And go over any kind of lineup advice or last minute start sits that you guys have. And I'd be happy to help you guys out. Check out the fantasycheatcode.com. My buddy Brian runs that website. He posts articles throughout the week. I'm going to be posting articles on that website as well. Check out the Engage 8 Fantasy Twitter. It's at Engage 8, the number 8, at Engage 8 Fantasy on Twitter. Check out Justin, who just joined me. He's Justin, what's your Twitter? Message me what your Twitter is. I'm forgetting what it is. I believe it's at JustinFF_, if I'm remembering correct. So check him out. He's an awesome follow as well. And let me know, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But send me a message on Twitter, comment on YouTube, get a hold of me any way you want. It's at JustinFF_. Sweet, I got it right. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. Positive, negative. What am I doing well that you'd like to continue to see? How can I improve things for you guys? What are some other segments you'd like to see during this live stream? Keep your eye out. Justin and I are workshopping a website for you guys. And hopefully we'll be able to get that up and running sometime soon. And obviously, like I said, we have our Twitter. For now, we're doing the YouTube stream and the articles, and hopefully we'll be getting back to podcasts. I think I'm going to do like some YouTube videos and then take the audio from that and turn it into podcasts. So we're workshopping some things. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, have a great week. Good luck. I hope you all smash your fantasy matchups. I hope you win at DFS, become millionaires. If you do become millionaires, Venmo me some money. And thanks, guys. Enjoy. Have a great week.